Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you to VST ECS for putting together this event, to cloud or not to cloud. And hopefully, I also will give my insights on a specific industry, such as the BPO industry. Again, my name is Maluta Losig, and I'm the industry segment lead of Microsoft Philippines. The past 20 months gave us a unique window into what humanity is capable of when the world of work can actually work and transform for us. Accelerated by the pandemic, despite multiple forces impacting the global BPO market, the future of BPO is here. Now is the time to reimagine why, where, and how BPOs work and unleash the energy and endless possibilities of what they can do to the clients to serve the community and for the country. But it has been quickly intercepted by the event of COVID-19. My presentation will actually allow us to navigate the BPO industry as well as its capabilities on how it has coped, thrived, and responded amidst this current COVID-19 situation. In the post-pandemic world, organizations look to the future of work in BPOs with optimism, propelled by human resourcefulness and resilience. We pride ourselves as a nation who paved the roads for this industry to respond, cope, and thrive in the ongoing crisis because we want to help the Philippines maintain its leadership in the BPO space, not only on talent advantages, high cost arbitrage, but also in innovation and best HR practices. A lot of the BPOs I talked with in recent months, they told us that they are used to just offering OPEX models to their customers. But right now, they're already looking into becoming innovators so that they are not just recipients of technology, but the innovators of technologies themselves. All CEOs didn't even expect the return to normal in the course of business with models and operating experiencing permanent pandemic induced changes. Much has been said about the road to renewal, where they are confident about the growth prospects in the global economy and are still looking into securing new contracts as they continue to aspire to be overseas partners of choice for most brands. 60%, 67% of the CEOs are likely to invest in digital transformation to manage future disruptions and will continue to keep the work from anywhere mission for at least 2 or more days in a week. Some are even investing in shared spaces. They will want to keep driving productivity improvements as they propel realistic growth in the now normal. They will always seek to secure and nurture top talent to humanize the future of work, elevate their workforce, and foster the environment needed to realize their full potential and business desired outcomes. All of us wants to explore how to re-architect work, unleash the workforce, and adapt to the new workplace. And last, but definitely not the least, we will not undermine cybersecurity and that the future of work will always have a data security imperative. "20 months and counting, what's been happening?" I've always been asked about this question. Well, sweeping global forces are reshaping the workplace, the workforce, and the work itself. Organizations are now rethinking their delivery model and talent strategies at all stages, from evaluating their current work trends, redesigning their tools and processes, to looking deeply into their employee life cycle, vying for top talent in a highly transparent job market, and becoming laser focused on upskilling for future role shifts is really a total value driven across chains. As a matter of fact, the BPO industry has four spot on priorities for 2021 and 2022. This is, of course, secure remote work, which will be dealt by Pratima in a little while regarding how we are trying to advance in that aspect when we are trying to secure hybrid work setup. We have a lot of talks regarding process and delivery model modernization employee experience and engagement, and of course, upskilling. So, as you can see, I have here like a lather version of what's really happening in the industry and where are we exactly. I'd like to believe that we are past the work from home scramble. Upon the first call to ECQ by President Duterte, everyone was on their toes. Every BPO in every nook and cranny shouldered on. They were ready. We've moved, they were shouldered on. They were all ready. We've moved past stage one and we were itching a bit closer to a more sustained work setup that has allowed a lot of BPOs to conduct resource continuity planning. They were able to build contingent workforce and were able to rethink their spans of control within their organizations. In other words, past a certain point, they were all learning to stabilize. I guess where we are right now, far and in between, is that we are still recalibrating towards the future of work. We are trying to accelerate the transformation of the work itself. There is a call for a more effective and seamless remote work to fulfill our work from anywhere mission. Then there will come a time, vaccine and herd immunity permitting, we should all be resetting to the new normal. But for the whole community, not and for the whole country as well. We will achieve a level of sophistication around virtual working in the provided workspace. We will excel in everything virtual as a country. There are two eternal truths in life that has been changed by the past year. One is managing people to do more is not an easy feat, and that life has really tremendously changed over the past year. To compound this issue, many BPOs today are now facing new challenges. The pandemic has produced a rapidly changing business environment and created a number of new obstacles. We are with you on this to help explore how you can conquer the uncertainty by getting ahead of the curve in the hybrid workplace, how to improve employee productivity, collaboration, support automation, and of course, bridge the skills gap. This is the part where Microsoft will help in your transformation battle cry to help fulfill that mission with finality and with conviction. We have put together this BPO business architecture that can hopefully address either a pain point, a goal, or an aspiration. This is actually to allow you realize where you are placed in your transformation journey or how far along the horizon you would like to pace the direction of your transformation. The anywhere, anytime workplace requires rethinking the tools, the technology, and the environment that the workers need to do at their very best. This demands creativity, flexibility, and insights into the human experience, plus a passion for adopting and crafting an environment that empowers workers to flourish. Digital transformation, although well known, is still it's still at its infancy stages, where some executives are brave enough to tackle digital transformation. It can also cause ripples of internal obstacles. That's where BPO or business process outsourcing comes into mind, not only for outsourcing brands, but also for local enterprises. Why? Because it has an undeniable advantage. When we outsource, we are consciously deciding to improve a task or a process, which applies in all facets of an organization, including overall digital adoption. Traditionally, companies will face silos of obstacles and resistance, and even if they overcome those, time will not be on their side. That is why it is an imperative that as we realize the importance of BPOs in business transformation environments and customer life cycle, we too should pivot in the waves of transformation. One of the largest variables and traditional obstacles when trying to innovate is the true speed to market. With the constantly evolving technological landscape, agility becomes key to being relevant. However, if a process or a technology goes through traditional channels, it could take years and years before that capability goes live. Within that time frame, technology has already evolved, and projects need to be reconsidered for how it will impact the organization. As such, we are facing a new level of fear. Fear of choosing a wrong path as we try to match that capability with speed, or worse, delaying a decision due to unknown forces. Hence, this Microsoft roadmap. As an expert, Microsoft aims to help navigate the digital transformation landscape through embracing these business imperatives and overcoming traditional friction points. Inevitably, the digital transformation trend continues to be in V's horizon. For some businesses, this is embraced. But for others, digital transformation will soon be a requirement for survival. We are one with you with this. In the middle of all of these, to help steer in the optimization of these new imperatives. The pandemic has tested our ability to respond quickly, innovate, and adapt in the face of fast-moving change. Although it's been challenging for a lot of organizations, as well as for people at every level, it has created great opportunities in removing obstacles, expanding horizons for what is possible, and there is no going back to the old normal. But there are clear pathways to define a more flexible, adaptive, and beneficial environment for businesses, partners, and customers. We should seize this moment to release the burdens of the past and create a better future. With that, let me thank everyone for investing their time in today's session, and I hope to see you in all the other sessions. And thank you again, VST, for this opportunity.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Again, myself, Pratima Singh. I've been with Microsoft for some time, helping customers adapt to the digital transformation journey. And what I'm trying to cover today is a very important aspect of that discussion is about the virtualization, how it has been in customers' infrastructure a couple of years ago, and with the new norm of hybrid work and the emphasis of getting everything to cloud during these last 18 months, and I don't know how many more months to go, the need to move to a platform which is scalable, which is available, and which is even security defined and has the security and regulation compliant. Now, what we are hearing from customer is there are a lot of options available. The most loved one that you see on the screen is the cloud PC. You own the physical device, so that's the most loved one. But the time to provision them, to get that handed to a new employee, to get that onboarded and get that connected experience in this new hybrid world of paradox that we are living in, that creates challenges. And then customer moves to virtualization. And that's where the pain of managing this huge infrastructure, maintaining the cost, the lights, the electricity, the network comes. And then slowly and gradually, we are adopting desktop as a service now. It means different things to different customer, and we are seeing with making virtualization as a service offering to a customer, providing them VDI solution as a service running out of cloud solution provider is actually helping them scale the platform, manage the platform, and go into a model of consumption based, wherein you are not procuring the entire infrastructure, managing it, though your employees are using it or not using it. So that's the trend that we are seeing. And here we at Microsoft are trying to provide you the best of available solution. Now, with Windows Virtual Desktop, formerly known as that, and now we have recently changed the name to Azure Virtual Desktop. This is our offering of running virtualization out of Microsoft Azure. And the way it differs from other offerings of running VDI out of any other cloud is we are taking the pain of managing the core infrastructure. The core infrastructure is that RDS infrastructure, the remote desktop services that you need to run to manage the virtualization, the broker, the gateway, the connector. Here, we are taking that making that as a platform as a service. So you don't need to run the VMs or manage or patch the VMs. We are doing that for you. We are maintaining that entire control plane. All you do is you run your VDIs. Now, these VDIs could be Windows 10. These could be traditional legacy operating system. These could be just publishing your application if you really do not want to give the entire desktop experience to the end user. And the most important offering is the multi-session capabilities running out of Windows 10. And this has not been provided by any other cloud solution provider other than Azure. So you could run a single Windows 10 client and have multiple user connect. And that's the reason we are providing you a scalable, a highly available, and yet a very optimal solution from cost perspective by providing you that multi-session. And this, everything runs on Microsoft Azure infrastructure, the compute, the storage, and the network. So you have the control on how much and what specific infrastructure that you would want. Now, moving on. As I said, the center thing that you're seeing on this particular slide deck is the control plane. This is where the magic happens. This is where the management happens. And we are working with our customers to meet in their journey of where they are. So we have heard from a lot of customers that we are using Citrix now. Right now, we are using VMware as a VDI solution. How do you offer us those multi-session capabilities, those scalabilities, those consumption-based offering running out of Azure with Azure Virtual Desktop? And here it is. The management plane could be native to Microsoft. The first one, we call it a native Azure Virtual Desktop, or we could partner with your current VDI solution, that is Citrix Cloud or Horizon on Azure, that's the VMware solution. So the management plane remains the very same for your admins. They do not need to learn new tools. So we are meeting them in the journey of where they are, and then use the compute, storage, and network of the scalable infrastructure of Azure that we have. So that's the kind of offering that we are trying to provide to our customer. Now, why would a customer move from traditional VDI or VDI is running out of any other cloud solution provider? There are plenty of reasons to do that. The first one is the choice of the endpoints where you're trying to connect in this era of hybrid world. Not all the employees or not all the customers get to have a physical desktop available. They could be in roaming, they could be using a tablet, an iPad, an Android, or a legacy operating system or a hardware wherein nothing else works. So how about an HTML browser? We support all of those endpoints for you to connect to Azure Virtual Desktop. Now, the experience of running your VDI out of a client operating system gives you that great experience. And then integrating that with a multi-session, we are giving you an optimal costing as well. We are trying to make sure for the connectivity and remoting, we are using all the possible hardware and optimization. So we are using dynamically adapting bandwidth utilization and leveraging Microsoft Network Backbone to let the user from anywhere across the world connect to the VDI in any region. Now, the most important feature of Azure Virtual Desktop is the investment that we have made into provide those connectivity experience. Now, with the new hybrid work, what we have seen as a survey response is most of the employees are still trying to stay at home and work, right? And that's where they're still requiring a great connected experience to talk to their peers, to have that experience as if they're doing those collaboration. Now, with Azure Virtual Desktop, we are getting Teams optimization for audio and video. We are getting Cisco Zoom optimization for collaboration available inbuilt on the tool. You don't need to do anything. That optimization for audio and video is already available. The best optimization for Office 365 productivity suite is inbuilt. So Outlook caching, running Outlook, running Teams, running anything that is M365 is just built into the tool. And then you could get your third-party apps, your line of business apps also available on those platforms. Now, from security perspective, we build the service around zero trust. So we build all the controls of Azure Virtual Desktop around zero trust. Now, zero trust is a philosophy that organizations are adopting, which means you assume that you're always under breach. You give the minimum permission possible to access a resource, and you always do just in time. So you make sure that your controls to resources are always in control, and you assume that you're always under a breach condition. So we are trying to align to those zero trust principle by providing all the security of Azure integrated with Azure Virtual Desktop. So granular control using role-based access control. We are trying to isolate sessions, though we are providing you multi-session user capability, and not letting you do an incoming connection to your Azure Virtual Desktop network, and just the outgoing by using a technology that you see in the green color is reverse connect, eliminates any kind of incoming traffic or URLs or ports opening onto your infrastructure. So these are all the inbuilt capabilities integrated with what already exists. So there is nothing new that or net new that you need to purchase, that we are trying to get through Azure Virtual Desktop natively to the customers. Now, how does it differ is a customer that is a question that I hear from a lot of customer. One, Windows 10 multi-session not available with any other solution provider, and the scope that we offer you from partner investment to the infrastructure investment to the global regional footprint that you have is not comparable for any other solution provider. And then building that into the security controls that we are already continuously working on, that we consume. So we consume trillions of traffic or identity logins that we have. So we have all the threat analytics, we have all the logic available, and then we give you that scale and scope and integration with our ISV partners to get you a fully service Azure Virtual Desktop solution right out of the box. This is the deck that interests a lot of customers when we talk about Azure Virtual Desktop, because technical capability, it outboxes it. People are loving this solution, but then comes to a comparison. Okay, how optimal is, or how cost effective is this solution when we move or take a thought of moving our VDIs from any existing VDI provider or traditional on-premises VDI provider. And this is a very high level calculation that we do. The first economic benefit for the infrastructure is that the Windows 10 multi-session experience that we are trying to provide you. So right now, for your on-premises VDI infrastructure, for your any other cloud VDI infrastructure, you're doing a one-to-one mapping. So you are managing and maintaining a lot of VDI, though they might be in lower specs, but they are one-to-one mapping that you're trying to do. Now with multi-session, we are saying that we can have one VDI servicing multiple users. So what it helps you is, it helps you by reducing the number of VMs that you need to manage and the operational cost behind it. So we are servicing a lot of users with a lesser number of VMs, and then integrated with the inbuilt reserve instance benefits and hybrid benefits, or getting your licenses from on-premises to cloud. We are actually seeing an 85% or more than that at times, a cost reduction when you get your VDIs to Azure Virtual Desktop with native or Citrix or VMware support that you have. So that's the one of the important feature that we are seeing from the cost and from the people and processes investment that gets reduced when you do this particular move to cloud. Now, where it makes sense. It makes sense, I think, everywhere. I mean, this is just a couple of them, because I really couldn't get all the use case scenarios wherein this would make sense. It makes sense for data security, because now your data is not on your desktop, it is in cloud, it is managed on those PCs, it is being rotated however you would want. We are providing you that high capacity, intensive workload VDIs, whether they are GPU workloads, whether they are developer workloads, whether these are bring your own PC workloads, or whether these are just a very low level PCs. All the range of SKUs are available right from the cloud. You can have your own tablet or on your endpoints available and use that to connect to these particular Azure Virtual Desktop VDIs from anywhere and everywhere. And the optimization from networking, from Teams, from productivity apps is inbuilt. Disaster recovery. Now, this is one of the important discussion that we do is with these eras of times, with everyone doing remote working, what happens if my current PC is going down? I have to send that back, and then it takes a lot of time. With Azure Virtual Desktop, the scale and the region support that we have and the automatic recovery that we offer, you are at peace. Your IT admin is at peace. And obviously, with contractors, with temporary workers coming into the picture, the onboarding and offboarding process of that elastic workforce becomes very easy. You give a VDI available, and if the user is no more working, or if the user is moved to a different project, you just remove him from the assignment, and that VDI is no more available. That provisioning onboarding experience is very smooth. So these are a very high level couple of those use case scenarios that I wanted to present, but the use case goes beyond. And I think I have not seen a single use case of existing customer that could be moved to Azure Virtual Desktop in a very optimal cost and a very easy people and processes manner. So this was me for today's discussion. Thank you, everyone.